Welcome to Electrified, it's your host, Dylan Loomis. So Tesla officially canceled the Model S Plaid Plus late last night. So in this video, we're gonna break down why they made this decision. And real quick, there are two other news items to cover. It looks like the Tesla annual shareholder meeting will be late July, early August, and we should expect an update on all of these things that everybody has been wanting to hear more about. And Elon also gave a quick update yesterday, one more production release of Pure Vision this week, and then FSD Beta 9 a week or two later. V9 FSD is also Pure Vision. Foundational improvements are immense. So this is roughly a 2-week delay from the last update we got, but there you have it. So here we have it, the Model S to go Plaid speed this week, and then Elon says Plaid Plus is canceled. There's no need as the Plaid is just so good. He added 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds, the quickest production car ever made of any kind, has to be felt to be believed. And if you go to the Tesla configurator page for the Model S, you see the Plaid Plus is now grayed out. You cannot click on it, but let's compare some of the differences between what the Plaid and Plaid Plus would have been. So as you can see, the Plaid upgrade 0 to 60 1.99, quarter mile 9.23. If you go to the Wayback Machine, you can see Plaid Plus would have been under 1.99 and under 9 seconds for the quarter mile. But these last three bullet points are mostly the same. 1100 horsepower on the Plaid Plus compared to 1020 for the just Plaid version. And then these two last bullet points are exactly the same. But the big difference is the 520 miles plus of range that the Plaid Plus was promised to have compared to the Plaid, which is just 390 miles. Now here's what Elon said to Fred at Electric. What we are seeing is that once you have a range above 400 miles, more range doesn't really matter. There are essentially 0 trips above 400 miles where the driver doesn't need to stop for the restroom, food, coffee, etc. anyway. Now, while this is true, what other people would argue is that having that extra range just gives you more options. So if you don't want to stop at a busy supercharger, or if you want to tow something, or if you live in a cold climate where you're going to lose anywhere from 20 to 40% of your range in the winter, or if you don't have access to a home charger and you need to supercharge your car, this having more range, over 500 miles would give you the option to supercharge maybe once a week instead of 3 times a week. So Elon can definitely make this argument, but the fact is many people just want the extra range to have more flexibility, and you cannot fault them for that. Now, there's a lot of debate at the moment about whether this Model S Plaid will have the 4680s or if it will stick with a 2170 or 1865 cell version. Now, back in October 2020, Elon did reply yes to Holmar's catalog, who asked, will the Plaid S have a structural pack? I assume the extra power of the 4680 cell helps. So Elon is saying yes to having a structural pack. This second statement about the 4680s doesn't necessarily infer this is Elon responding to that part of the statement. But the general consensus was that the Model S Plaid would indeed have the 4680s and the structural battery pack. I would say at this point it's at least possible that's not the case. Because remember, a few weeks ago Elon was asked, will Giga Austin start by producing 2170 Model Y or jump straight to the 4680s? And Elon responded, go straight to the 4680s. So we could think about this. If Elon thinks Giga Austin and the Model Y are ahead of schedule and those 4680 cells from Cato Road are set to go into this Model Y production volume vehicle, then they might want to save that 4680 cell capacity for the Model Y at Giga Austin and also Giga Berlin. So how should we think about this decision? Well, first and foremost, we need to remember that Tesla wants to simplify the decision-making process and essentially have gaps in between different production models. Over the years, Tesla has implemented and then removed many different models based on customer actions and data. So Tesla is using data and checking the demand for different models to keep them in the production line versus taking them out, to really streamline and make things as efficient as possible. So having a Model S Plaid and a Plaid Plus that are basically the same car with minor differences doesn't make a lot of sense from a manufacturing or a customer choice standpoint. So this way they will probably have a larger gap between the Model S Plaid and whatever their next step up will be, whether it's the Roadster or an eventual Plaid long-range variant. And when it comes to manufacturing the 4680 cells, we're just gonna have to wait until Thursday to get official news on the Model S Plaid? Does it have the 4680s? Does it have the structural pack? Or are they going to stick with the older cell formats in an attempt to keep those 4680s for the Model Y high volume vehicles? And by the way, the Cybertruck, the Semi, the Roadster, whenever we see those vehicles, hopefully to some degree, either late this year or into next year, late this year for the Cybertruck. And remember this, that no matter what Tesla decides right now, they can always change their minds later. For example, once the backlog of demand for the Model S Plaid is satisfied, maybe they come out with a Plaid long-range version, because that is going to be the #1 complaint of this decision by Tesla. Many people were expecting that over 500 miles of range car that now people are back to waiting for. And also, if Tesla is indeed going to create brand new manufacturing lines for the Roadster and the SpaceX package variant, then they're going to want that vehicle to be differentiated enough from the Model S Plaid in whatever form that is coming in. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, there is a rumor out there that I'm going to share, but I don't think it makes that much sense. But some people are saying Tesla actually canceled the Model S Plaid, and the Plaid Plus has been renamed to the Model S Plaid, meaning the car that's going to be delivered on Thursday is actually the 500 plus mile variant with the 4680s. I don't think this makes a lot of sense, because Tesla wouldn't charge the regular Plaid rate and then give them basically a huge upgrade. Now, it's possible, because we know Tesla loves the one more thing at their events, and I do think they have something planned for this event, but I don't think this rumor is it. And something else you need to remember, this car, the Model S Plaid, forget about the Plaid Plus, is still hands down one of the best cars in production on the planet. When it comes to under 2 seconds in 0 to 60, the stupid quarter-mile times, and a range of almost 400 miles, no one is coming close with anything in production when it comes to a pure battery electric vehicle at this price point. So Tesla doesn't have a need to keep doing these absurd numbers with the Plaid Plus. The regular Plaid is already an insane vehicle, and if Lucid or some other EV manufacturer comes to market with an offering that is competitive with the Plaid, or dare I say even better, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But at that point, Tesla could then introduce, a Plaid Plus, or do whatever they want to do to regain that top spot if they think they need to. But the last thing I'll say about this is, let's just wait until Thursday. We're going to get all of the details. We're going to hear everything for sure. And Tesla could definitely have something up their sleeve that none of us are expecting. So I'm super excited for it. I'm going to try to go in with low expectations, and I think you should too. But it should be a very fun event. And as always, in the long run, a few months from now, this decision is not going to be that big of a deal. For some people that wanted the 500 plus miles of range, if we don't get it on Thursday, they're still going to be upset. That's understandable. But for the long term in Tesla, this is not a volume vehicle, at least relative to the 3NY and the eventual $25,000 version. So keep it in context. We'll see why, but most likely it's a battery situation, because it's all about trade-offs when it comes to the batteries. Performance and range and safety, all of these things, it's that blend that you have to find the perfect balance, because if Tesla's going for these crazy performance numbers, then they're going to sacrifice some range, and maybe the 4680 technology either isn't scaling as fast as they want it to, or they're still working out some of the things and hitting those crazy range numbers and the under 2 seconds, the wild speed figures. They're just not ready to do it, or they're conserving cells for the Model Y, as I mentioned. But I would love to know what you guys think. Please like this video if it was helpful in any way. I hope you guys have a great day, and a big thank you to everybody on the next screen.